Right, if we look at these then, Dan, okay, so the left-hand one was kind of your before swing. I say grip pressure is definitely looking looser in terms of the flow of your swing. There's a lot more movement there, okay? Yeah. And I think your rotation is certainly better. But this was your left arm. So you turn your shoulders down nicely towards the golf ball there. So your shoulder line here is going down towards the ball nicely. But the arms, as we can see at this point, getting a little bit flat there. Having the arm down here, this elbow really tucked into your body there. That is very reminiscent of that guy we saw on the left-hand side of Tiger, with a very flat swing there. Again, you can hit some reasonable shots from there, but consistency-wise, hitting the ground is going to be very, very difficult from that we call flatter angle, okay? So the way you want to kind of practice now, this is kind of like a 50, 45 second sort of clip of your practice, is make swings in practice that feel really daft. Swing the top, let your arms sort of fall down here, okay? Make what feels really exaggerated, awkward kind of swings. In fact, if we actually just play this through.
Just to rehearse the movement, as we said, the other end of the spectrum to where you are. Your swing is too low, too flat, elbow too close. So the opposite end of the spectrum is going to be elbow way away from the body, arms too.
Like that, you see there? Yeah. So really, I mean, that is daft and like almost Furyk-esque, that other guy, okay? But if I put a ball in the way I said swing the club, you get nowhere near that. Yeah. You just wouldn't. I mean, that is very high, that is very low. Yeah. Now we want to be sort of somewhere in the middle. So if you practice at the other end of where you instinctively go, okay, that way we would assume then that you'll probably find somewhere in the middle, yeah? And that's where we want to try and get to, okay? So when you're actually hitting the golf ball, you're not thinking about this movement. You're just stood there going, okay, right, that's the swing I'm going to make now. There's the ball, I'm going to hit it, yeah? So you over-exaggerate the practice swing so you can find the ground really easy, get the arms up high there, get some space there from your right arm and stuff and the elbow from the body. And then when you step to the golf ball then after sort of 4, 5, 6, 7 minutes of practice, not 6 minutes, 6 practice swings, and this is now, you see, 45 seconds on the clock. We sort of started doing this now back at pretty much zero. When I said, oh, make a practice swing, you step back at, I guess, 4 seconds you started it. 40 seconds of doing this, then we step to the golf ball now, and we make a swing. 50 seconds in, here we go. Your left arm is higher, yeah? Yeah. Is it higher as where we wanted to get to? No. Is it close enough to where it needs to get to? Certainly is. Is it still close enough-ish to your old swing? Yeah, it's not too bad. So you're still kind of in this area where you kind of feel comfortable. Suddenly getting your arms up here, you'd be like, oh, that feels really, really weird to be up there because it's just too far away from where you think you are or where you know you are, okay? And that's the thing, you don't want to make too big a changes too quickly, okay? Look at how much your right elbow's coming away from the body there now. So there's a bit of daylight there now, yeah? It's not much more, but it's enough that we found the ground more consistently. And that is the big thing for you, is just getting yourself in a position where you can get that right arm up a bit higher. So finding the ground is something you can do a lot easier. We can see at this frame, just the next, if I can do it, it's a bit tight, it's a long video, there you go. The club is slightly there outside the golf ball, yeah, which is where that club's coming across. And this is why when you hit these shots, you know, they just had a little bit off to the left there and just sort of drifted a little bit left to right. If you hit it more with that right shoulder from here, when you try and hit it harder maybe, the club works even further out here. And that is unfortunately where you get the old like shank off to the right there, where you catch it right in the hosel on the butt there, because the club now has kind of moved this way because your shoulder has moved out to the golf ball. And that's going to be one thing. So if you start getting that shot, the shank off to the right, or you start topping it, or the ground just seems unreachable, you've got to start working on getting those arms up as high as you can. Get that sensation of the arms up and drop, yeah? If the arms can come down here, they hit the ground. Yeah, you've got to try and find a way to hit the ground, okay? We don't want to be doing that with the body lunging or throwing forward to the golf ball. There's a lot of people will try and do. They're going to go, ooh, trying to throw it at the golf ball, yeah? The arms just fall down. The same way if you just stood there and lift the arms up here, fall down, hits the ground, yeah? You wouldn't have to go throw yourself forward, yeah? Just moving your arm. It takes a lot of stress out your shoulders, yeah? A lot of rugby players have got sort of dodgy shoulders, everything from pounding into sort of tackles. So the less stress you can put on these, the better. If we can get the arms this way, you're not really doing that much like taking a rugby ball, just throwing it over your shoulder that way, yeah? You wouldn't go turn it around behind that way. So that's the sensation you want to try and have. I say, if that's a drill, you can almost practice that. Put a rugby ball in your hand there and just throw it over your shoulder, yeah? What would your arm do? You wouldn't sort of pull your arm this way, yeah? And you wouldn't lunge your body, just you take your arm and go, there you go. Just fling it over, yeah? So that's kind of the feeling you want to have when you're swinging the golf club. You could potentially initiate that with a rugby ball, and so I'm just sort of thinking of now, if you hold a ball there now, practice trying to throw it in that direction towards target, yeah? So you stand here with a rugby ball, okay, right. You wouldn't go and do that, would you, yeah? You start here and just throw it over your shoulder, yeah? So someone, say, 10 yards down there, throw it over your shoulder that way, yeah? You find you have to get your arm, if you've got your arm in here, just go behind you with it, wouldn't it, yeah? So maybe as a practice thought or a feeling, yeah? But if we can get your arm into that position more, we've got a chance, yeah? And I say the release patterns will just improve over time, I think, once you get used to how the arms need to fall and squaring that club face up. At the moment, though, you're hitting a little bit of a fade, which is fine. You can just start the ball left of target and allow for that little bit of a fade. But on a golf course, we can discuss that as we go through. Okay. Any questions with that at all, or
No, it makes sense.
good stuff? But you can see now why you were topping a lot of shots, but the ones on a tee peg, all right.
Yeah, makes sense.
And then when you hit the golf ball with your arms are probably steeper after lesser one because you're still working it harder and harder to get that arms up, hitting the ground nicely, then the longer irons wouldn't work so well. So there is a happy medium of being too high, green line too low. We want to be sort of somewhere on this yellow line, Goldilocks effect in the middle, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, mate?